Hello, I'm Rich Dean with West Coast Collector Cars in Oregon, and today I've got a 1931 Ford Model A Coupe to show you. Now obviously this is a Model A Coupe hot rod, so it's not a factory stock car, but it's a very nice car, very nice paint, engine, the whole nine. So we'll just go around and I'm going to show you some of the attributes of the car and see what you think. Now the paint is Viper red and it's finished off in this base coat clear coat, and the body is all Henry Ford steel, but the fenders are fiberglass. So steel body, fiberglass fenders, and since we're here, this is a 1932 grill shell. Typical, hot rodder trick. We all kind of love this good looking grill here, and of course the hood is metal as well. But all the fasteners, as you can see, finished off in this nice stainless, chrome and so forth. Oh, and I do have the engine side skirts here. So if a person wanted to put those on and cover up the engine, although I don't know that you'd want to, but the side skirts look really cool on this rig. Very nice. But all the old welting and so forth in nice condition. These are your turn signals here. And although originally the fuel tank would have been here, they just left this to kind of make it, look authentic and so forth, but actually the fuel tank is in the back now. Running boards are nice, got these nice little, foot placement pegs. Door handle chrome is nice. Take a look, all this nice chrome here. This is the door pull to close the door. Windows roll up and down nice and easy. You got nice tinted glass here. As you can see, it's just got a little light smoke tint. And the interior is finished off in this sort of, I guess it's an off-white really. Kind of a tuck and roll look, to kind of give it that nostalgic hot rod look. As you can see, the floor panels and so forth are done in that as well. Gray carpeting. Gray headliner. You got a stereo up there. Gauges are all in the traditional spot. They are the newer fuses, so you don't have to worry about the wiring. They all have the new push-in style fuses. They're not the old glass type fuse. Doors close nice. Now these, the way they were, you probably already know this, but the doors actually overlap, and that's how they're supposed to be. And I want to point this visor out to you as well. You might notice this has been all fabbed in here. It's not an individual piece, it's just fabricated into the, that's metal as well, into the roof. Originally a Model A like this would have had a fabric of some sort roof, but as you can see, this has been upgraded or converted to an all steel roof. Just a little bit more rigid. Back then they probably didn't have the ability to make a piece of sheet metal that big and make it stable, and so nowadays of course we do that. So that's kind of a nice piece here. The wheels and tires, the wheels are kind of a centerline style, aluminum polished, and they're a good looking wheel. Got these knockoffs here. Tires are a radial by Solar, front and rear. This is a foot pad where you would have put your foot there and then here to get up into the rumble seat. Rumble seat finished off just like the interior. Very nice and clean in here. If you want to take somebody with you, this is where they're going to sit. Very nice. Back here, I guess you could call this, I don't know what they call this roll here, but it's not really a bumper, but it kind of is. And this is where, again, this is where your fuel tank is, and accessibility here. I'd point you to the website, westcoastcollectorcars.com, where I've got still pictures of the car, and including the undercarriage. Now, the undercarriage is finished off like the exterior here that you see. It's very nice and clean under there, so that's worthy of having a look. very nicely done. Very impressive little restoration on this little Model A. I think you'd like it. It's just red, you know, everywhere you look, and nice and clean paint. Taking the inside here, you've got a tilt steering column. This is your shift quadrant here, and that does light up when you turn the ignition on, so you can see if you're in park, reverse, neutral, and so forth. Again, the gauges, you know, they're in the traditional spot here, and it does have the tilt out windshield if you wanted to move that out. I guess that'd be your air conditioning. A lot of nice touches. Notice the chrome around the windows and so forth. And that little dome light up there does work. It's manual. Paint's very nice. Not finding any rock chips or anything in the paint. I think it's predominantly used as a show car, and the odometer indicates 275 miles, and that is what is on the build here for this. So it hasn't been driven around a whole lot, but I got to tell you, I've driven the car and it does drive down the road nicely. The engine is a 1962 Chevrolet 327, slated for a 1962 Corvette. And you know, I know a lot of times people say that, oh, it's a Corvette engine, but actually I did run the numbers, and that is exactly what it is. It was a 327 340 horse Corvette. Now that engine with a suffix of an RE on the pad there, so that would indicate a 340 horse, and a 340 horse at that time was a solid lifter cam. Now that has been changed out. It is not a solid lifter, it's now a hydraulic cam, and the engine's all been rebuilt and everything. It runs great, has a nice little sound to it, but you aren't going to have that solid lifter cam. Great sound on those solid lifter cams, but you got to adjust the valves once in a while too, so nobody likes to do that so much. But at any rate, you got a nice aluminum manifold, a little 4-barrel carburetor, chrome headers. You'll note, if you look at those pictures of the undercarriage, you might be able to see the exhaust is all clean and fresh and so forth. Electric fan. On the front end, you can see down in here, it's all nice and clean. Power 4-wheel disc brakes, by the way. So what I like to do now is I'll jump in the car, start it, hear it run, and I'll just drive around the parking lot a little bit so you can kind of get a sense of how it sounds and what it looks like under its own, moving under its own power. Really neat little car, easy to steer, easy to drive. Automatic, transmission shifts nicely. Got a Ford 9-inch rear end out back, and I haven't been able to determine the gear ratio, but it's probably somewhere in around a mid, threes, 3 1/4, 350, something along that order. Kind of a highway gear, but Yeah, real easy to steer. I mean, it doesn't have power steering, but it drives like it does. I mean, these little cars, you know, they don't weigh a whole lot, so they're real easy to steer. Horn works, all the signals work, all the lights work, gauges and so forth. It's just a very clean, very strong, nice little Model A hot rod coupe. I mean, it's cool, you know. This is kind of, you know, one of the traditional hot rods. But if I can answer any questions for you about this 31, please let me know. Be happy to answer any questions for you. Again, my name is Rich Dean, and this is West Coast Collector Cars. My number is 503-851-6763, and thank you for watching today.